Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Be fucking bold. I'm Brett. Today, I want to get back with a lot of people who are DMing me and asking me what I did as far as supplements or diet. What did I change that had anything to do with my transformation to help my brain heal? As you know, off of all the medications. I was prescribed over 25 different medications. This is probably half of them, included in Zoloft. The first one was Lexapro. If you follow me, you know the first thing they wrote the script for was Lexapro. And then there was Prozac, Effexor, Trintellix. Did I say Zoloft already? Half the shit I can't even pronounce. There's a bag of medication here that I was prescribed, obviously not all at one time, but I didn't like the way the medication was making me feel. A lot of this shit made me feel worse. And my huge disclaimer to this entire, all my list followers is that I'm not advising you quit your medication. You work alongside your professional and you guys make the decision together. I made the decision. I didn't want this in my body. I didn't like how it was making me feel. For the longest time, I refused to take it. I didn't want to take it. Then it got to the point where I got so bad that I said, fuck it, I'll take anything. I'll try anything. And I tried it. And I kept trying it and trying it. And it wasn't working, making things worse. Eventually diagnosed with treatment-resistant depression. You think? It wasn't working. So I made the bold decision to replace all the medication with consistent meditation, okay? So no longer taking the medication, obviously. So that's gone. As far as my diet, now, I stopped drinking years ago. I gave that up. So recently, this is 2025, so January of 2024, I made the decision. I came across, my cousin Denise sent me some videos, and she's the one, by the way, who was always in there to encourage me. A lot of people were there to encourage me, obviously. Give credit to everybody who was there. But she's the one who said to me one day, listen, you're not going to kill yourself as bad as I wanted to. She said, you're not going to do that. You are going to take this experience and one day you're going to help people change their lives. And I just got goosebumps from that because I don't know how she knew that at the time, but what she said to me gave me that small spark of encouragement and hope that eventually led to a huge flame, a desire, a huge flame of emotional freedom that I'm experiencing now on a daily basis. So getting back to what I said earlier, she is the one who introduced me to the carnivore diet. Now, when I started listening to her tell me she was just eating meat, I really thought she was out of her mind, maybe. When you first hear that, you're just eating meat, nothing else. But the more I listened to her, and the more videos that she sent me of people doing this, and the more I heard of the success stories that people were having with the carnivore diet, the more it got my attention. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna try it. So January of 2024 is when I really kicked it off. And I went hard carnivore for 6 strong months. I gave up all the carbs and just strictly ate meat for 6 solid months. Now I did have bacon. I didn't like pork bacon, so I switched to turkey. I had eggs. I still to this day have 6 eggs every day. I gave up the vegetables. Now I'm not telling you to do this. I'm saying do the research. And if you go out there and you Google or YouTube Anthony Shafee and Dr. Berry, and those guys, Shafee, Berry, and Baker. Dr. Shafee, Baker, and Berry. And you gotta also check out Chris Palmer. Chris Palmer's book, Brain Energy, I'll say it again, Chris Palmer's book, Brain Energy, will change your life. I'm telling you, okay? Again, do the research. So, why do I have all this steak on my table here? Because I wanna show you something. What I did is I went hardcore with the meat, okay? And the studies that are showing the impact meat has on the body, the brain, I noticed a difference right away. Okay, I was at the tail end of what I was going through. So from March 2019 to March 24, I was hit with major depression, paralyzing anxiety, suicidal ideation, PTSD, and the chronic insomnia. Now the insomnia started to taper off. That was the first thing to kind of just taper off. It was so bad in the beginning that I really do, and I say this with utmost sincerity, I sometimes have a hard time believing that I lived through that period of my life by getting as little sleep as I got. If you follow me, you know the story. I would take a Xanax just to knock me out and get 90 minutes of sleep periodically, sporadically, not even consistent, over years. I'm not sure how to fuck the brain up for permanently. But I did all the sleep tests. They put the wires on you, and you go to the sleep study, and you stay the night, and they run the test, and all that shit. It was just awful. So if you're sleeping, be thankful and grateful that you're getting your sleep. Okay. So going back to what I was saying about the meat, January of 2024, right, is when I started the carnivore diet heavily. I started just eating the meat. What I noticed is that I had brain fog so bad for so long, and I believe it was because of the anxiety and the lack of sleep, that I had a Ford Explorer, a new Ford Explorer, that I got back in 2014. It was in 2015. I got it, a couple months earlier, like in November of 2014. What I'm saying is that there was a punch pad on the Ford Explorer, a punch keypad, you know what I'm saying? 55331. That was the code that would get me in the Ford Explorer door. It opened the door. When I was at the darkest, deepest period of my depression, I kid you not, stack of Bibles, I could not remember the fucking code to open that car door. A car that I had since 2014, I get hit with depression in 2019. I had that car for 5 years. So I knew the code. I could do it with my eyes closed. When I got hit with that fucking depression, it wiped my brain out. It really did fuck my brain up to the point I could not open my door. There are times I couldn't remember the keypad to get in my own car that I had for 5 fucking years. It was awful. So I'm sharing this with you because I want you to understand you're going through some heavy shit right now. I get it. But I say in every video, let my story, let my pain become your glory, knowing that I got through it and you can too. So the meat, what I was saying was, before I got sidetracked, and if you watch me, you know I get sidetracked sometimes, and I stutter and my brain wants to talk, and all these thoughts come to my mind, and I just can't get the right words sometimes, but you get the meaning, right? So what I'm saying, the brain fog, I noticed the brain fog when I started eating the meat, it started really to dissipate. Really. I mean, I don't know how it does it. Call it the magic of meat. Do the research. Go find those guys I just told you about. Baker, Barry, Shafee, Dr. Palmer. Now, Dr. Palmer, he talks about brain injury in that book, and it's fantastic. So now listen, to this day, I'm still eating meat. But I do also add in fruit. I like to have an apple in the morning. So my morning ritual, my morning routine now is to have a green apple, which has less sugar. So have the green apple, right? And then I'll take some turkey bacon. I buy the big pack of Columbus turkey bacon from Costco. And I'll have 2 pieces of turkey bacon in the morning with that green apple. I also have a Japanese tea that I drink every morning. Garoku, I think it's called Japanese Garoku tea. You can get it on Amazon. So I take the green apple, the bacon, the green tea, and that's my morning. And I have some supplements. I'll do a whole nother video with the supplements later. But let me talk about the meat, because the meat really was a catalyst for eliminating that brain fog. Up until January of 24, there was still the brain fog. I'm not gonna lie, it was still there. It was like a fogginess in the brain, right? You know what I'm talking about if you're going through it. For some reason, the meat started to cure that brain fog. It would lift. I don't know what happened. I really don't. I just know it worked. So what I do now, I live in Florida. We have Publix here in Florida. So I will go to my meat guy, and through my research, I have found that I will get the meat called chuck eye. Now, ribeye to me is fantastic. Ribeye is delicious. And Costco sells the big pack of ribeye, right? And that's fantastic. But the ribeye can be very expensive. So I do that once in a while. But what I focus on now is getting, Costco also sells the grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef. So I'll have that, I'll make the ground beef, and I'll eat that a lot of times I eat that. But my main staple is I go through these things, they're called chuck eyes. Now the chuck roll is what they sell in the store. The chuck eye is a one-off. In other words, they can cut a couple pieces of the chuck eye off that chuck roll. You're not gonna be able to go to Costco and buy all this chuck eye. I asked the butcher, they said, no, we don't do that here at Costco. But the Publix here in Florida, they do sell the chuck eye steak. Now, if you see this, I can hold it up for you. It's only 15 bucks. What does it say? 15.56 for 2 nice pieces of chuck eye. So I'll take this chuck eye and I'll throw it on the grill, and this will be my dinner. I'll eat one of these each night. One piece of chuck eye on the grill, and that becomes my dinner. Now, I bought 4 of these. I get lucky because I have 4 of them here. I went to the Publix the other day. They actually had 4 packs of 2. So I have 8 chuck eyes here, and and your average $7 to $9 a piece, which is a pretty damn good deal compared to the ribeye, which is, sometimes $22 a pound. And this is $9.49 a pound for the chuck eyes. So I highly recommend you look into it. I'm not going to tell you just go start a carnivore diet, but do your research. Right? Do the research and find out why this is working so well. The more you listen, there's a lot of people out there talk about the carnivore diet, you know that, but the people who I trust and the people who I follow, the people I listen to, break it all down, and they, on their channels and on their podcasts, they have people who are constantly telling them the same thing I'm telling you, that the magic of meat does work. There's something in that meat that works. So that's what I want to share with you guys today, because I've been getting a lot of questions about my diet. And as you know, if your diet's high in sugar and high in processed food, it's not good for the brain. The brain does not like all that processed food. When you go to the grocery store, you'll notice if you think about this, the outside aisles of the grocery store are all the natural foods. In the center is where all that processed shit is. The processed cereals, the cookies, the cake, all that nasty processed sugary shit is not good for the body. So when you cut that shit out and go with a nice high quality meat, I believe you're going to be very pleased with the results. Does that make sense? So do I have fruit once in a while? I said, yes, I do have some fruit. So with my lunch consists of, so I told you my breakfast, or the first meal, I call it the first meal, is the green apple with turkey bacon. And then at noon, I'll crack 6 eggs with some of that ground beef that I told you about, that grass-finished ground beef. And then around 6 o'clock, 6:30, I'll throw one of these on the grill, and that's gonna be my meal plan for the entire day. I like having fruit. Okay, something about the fruit, it gives me just enough fiber, and the guys who I just told you about, they say all the fiber he needs in the meat. Well, my body didn't agree with that. My body needed to have some fruit. So I incorporate some fruit with the meat, and that becomes my meal for the entire day. Now, from January 24, January, February, March, April, May, June, 6 months with just the meat and an apple here and there. I got to the point of saying, man, I feel really good, but I really think I need to have some more fruit added back into my day, incorporate some more fruit back in my diet. So that's so now I have the apple on a regular basis with my turkey bacon in the morning. So, and the eggs, I'll have for lunch at noon, I'll have 6 eggs. I'll have some high quality sausage. Costco sells the kielbasa. I'll have that, and I'll have some grapes. or I have maybe the little mandarin orange, right? Some fruit, a little bit of fruit with that. And that's what I'm having. And that's my diet. And I got it, I swear by it. I really can tell you honestly, that meat did wonders for the brain fog. So again, get rid of the alcohol, or cut down considerably, cut down a lot, okay? And Dr. Palmer, Chris Palmer, he's gonna tell you, get rid of the alcohol. Get that book, go read that book, Brain Energy. I like to listen. I don't have time to sit there and read a lot of books, but I do like to listen. When I'm on the treadmill, I do my treadmill, a routine every morning for 60 minutes on a 15% incline. Get that body, get that heart rate going, get warmed up, get the juices flowing. And when I'm on the treadmill, I listen to the audiobooks. I love listening to audiobooks or videos on the treadmill. And the more I listened, the more I learned, and the better I felt. And that's my whole intention of sharing that with you today on this video. So keep the DMs coming. I really appreciate that, because when you look for this, for example, this right here is because the people who reached out asked me, hey, what are you eating? So that's what I know you want to hear. There's some things I don't know if you want to hear, right? So when you hit me back and tell me, hey, what do you ask me questions, then I will direct the video towards you and towards your questions. All right? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Where's my shirt? Be fucking bold. Believe in the infinite possibilities for your life. Stay strong. Stay committed. Stay hopeful. And hit me back with anything and any question you may have, and I will share it with you like an open book. You hear me say it all the time. All right, you guys? I will see you in the next video.